Hey guys, this is Renegade. I play a Havoc Demon Hunter on the server Thrall on NA, and I wanted to give you guys a breakdown and guide of how I do the Mythic Sylvanas encounter as a Havoc Demon Hunter. Might also apply to other melee, but we're going to do this obviously from my perspective. This is my most recent kill on February 1st, 2022. I use a pretty typical build, Karain Soulbind, First Blood, Dancing with Fate, with Glaive Tempest and the Frost Shard set. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the countdown, and you do the usual thing of kind of like pre-Immo Aura and Arcane Torrent if you're a Blood Elf, and then you're going to run in and Fellblade and do your little opener. Only things you're really looking out for in this part of phase 1 is just not getting hit by the swirlies and just pumping as much damage as possible, because you're popping Bloodlust twice during the fight, so you may as well do it at the beginning. We are going to have to stop DPS at some point, which is annoying, but you may as well kind of pop everything here and get moving. Now, pretty soon here, she's going to jump away, and we're going to follow her, and we're going to sort of just pad on the chains that she spawns. We likely did not get targeted by chains here, so we're going to be able to just get a little more damage on her, run over here, pop off some burning wounds, Immo Aura kind of shenanigans here. Same thing with these ads. Now, our monk tank actually pushes these away, I think, with Ring of Peace here. Actually, he put it in the wrong spot, so we're able to just kind of follow them along. And I take the gateway here to get back to Sylvanas quickly, and you just continue your little single target rotation for a while. If you haven't done the fight before, obviously, like, Windrunner is going to look really weird. She's going to jump all over the place, but she actually stays still, so you don't actually have to move and follow her. This is a really tough one to actually dodge all those swirlies, especially when you're sitting in an I-beam, so watch out for that. We're going to have chains again soon, pretty here. She's going to run to the middle and then spawn chains near the outside of the room. This is one where the hunt is going to be off of cooldown. So I'm going to go over to her, get a little bit more damage, and then I'm going to hunt the left pack of chains. I have to Fell Rush to get a little bit closer, and then we're able to hunt and then spread it onto everything. Try to get up some burning wounds on some of the other arrows, but they die pretty quickly, obviously. Now here's where you're going to get some arrow spawns, and as far as your kind of damage numbers go, you're going to hope not to get targeted by any of these ads. Looks like I didn't, so I'm going to get to go over here and really pop off on these sentinels. It's some really nice pad damage there, but it is important to kill them quickly. All of the sort of AoE pad damage that you do in this is still helpful, because you're kind of building up your Winds of Winter charges with your Frost sets. So even though it looks like I'm sort of doing useless damage, it still is going to help my ultimately my damage numbers. So we're actually stopping damage here at this point, I believe. Yeah, she's at almost down to 85%. So you kind of get off the darkness. It's important to get towards this part of the room as well to get her to leap in the right direction here for this last set of chains. So there's basically no more boss damage I'm going to do. I'm just going to do some AoE padding and get these arrows down quickly, and then DPS the ads. The idea is you want her to use one more darkness cast before she gets to 85%. That way you have a predictable spawn of all the arrows in the intermission phase. So we're just doing like no damage to her. See, I am targeted by one of the ads here. What you can do here is kind of run up and drop a Glaive Tempest and kind of run away, but you do not want that to get close enough to hit you. The aggro radius is actually really big, and mine dies kind of early, so I'm able to get some damage on the ads. Now we're going to do some damage to the boss here to make sure that she gets down below 84% right after this darkness, because you want her to transition into the intermission phase before she casts another set of chains. If she does that, then it's a wipe for sure. So right here, I'm going to try to I pop a darkness there to help with damage. I'm going to get myself chained to this back set, and then I'm going to Fell Rush, and I'm going to hunt through these chains to get to these back ones. So I'm kind of helping damage everything here. Kind of dangerous to I-beam there. You want to make sure that there's no swirlies or rive lines before you do that, because you can just get stuck really easily. But now everything's dead, and we're literally just going to sit here and watch her rive 5 more times. This is sort of an insane part of the fight. I don't know why they had her rive 9 times. It doesn't take anybody this long to kill chains, and if it does, you're probably dead anyway. So I really feel like the fight could just transition right here, but it is what it is. So important things to keep in mind for Phase 2 are you kind of want the ads to die on each platform at the same time. I'm going to be going left and then right, which is going to let me do a lot of AoE pad damage again, which is nice, especially since I have Karain, so I get that first strike bonus along with Winds of Winter. So I do quite a bit of damage in Phase 2, as you'll see pretty soon here. So again, we're going left, and we're going to definitely watch out for the waves. That's something that can really mess you up, is if you get your healers far behind because you have stacks of the haunting wave damage. So you want to avoid that for sure. Don't fall off the bridge. I've done that before. And then we're going to start on the Soul Judge up here. Well, again, dodging waves, looking out for the Darkness cast when that comes up. You can double jump glide over the waves, which is nice. But like, watch out for these while you're starting rotation. And I'm basically just doing the normal kind of like opener here. I do use meta here simply because it lines up perfectly to where you want to meta later on in the fight. You can actually get 4 casts of meta off in this fight because it's so long. So here you're just going to watch out for Darkness as it spawns, and then I'm going to hunt back on here. Now the Soul Judge is almost dead, so I'm focusing on the Goliath and just getting him down as quickly as possible. You can see on the right side of the screen, the 2 Goliaths are about the same amount of health. You want them to die at about the same time because the bridge spawns right after you kill it. So you don't want her to jump over there and then one group be way ahead of the other and then not be able to maximize your damage on her for this burn phase here. So now she's no longer immune and we're able to burn her again. This is, pretty straightforward, just burn. She's going to do both Darkness and Haunting Wave. Haunting Wave is interesting because as a Demon Hunter, I don't have to run very far. I can just double jump glide over those waves and then just continue to DPS. Now I hold Glaive Tempest here, so I can Glaive Tempest and then take the Gateway to get out of the Darkness, so that's doing damage while I'm waiting for Darkness to cast. So you continue this burn. The way that I do the end of this burn phase is I will dodge the Haunting Wave the exact same way. I'm also going to pop off another Glaive Tempest while I'm doing that. I dodge into her, which will allow the rest of my group to spread out a little bit better. And then I'm just going to use all of my movement abilities to catch back up. Double Fell Rush, and then Soul Shift to get back, and now I'm back with the group. Now we're going to go over the bridge, and this is the platform with the summoner on it. It is a tough platform. There's a lot that you have to look out for. There's orbs and stuff like that, but because there's so much AoE damage to actually go out, I'm able to just really pump and hopefully get some nice Winds of Winter procs as well. So you really are focusing the summoner. I'm not even worried about spreading Burning Wounds here onto the Soul Judge until the summoner gets pretty low, because it's very important the summoner dies. You don't want him to spawn 2 sets of those Terror Orbs, or you're going to be screwed. Now we're just going to get the Soul Judge down quickly. The other group is killing the Colossus quickly enough, so we don't have to worry about holding damage or anything. Now we can pad a little bit on these ads while we wait for Jaina to spawn her bridge, and then we run over. If you kill it at about this time, you don't even have to worry about that wave. You just kind of run, and then you're good to go. Now we have our second burn phase. I think I'm supposed to pop Darkness here. I don't know if I remember to do so or not. It's not a ton of damage going out, so it's not like... Oh yeah, I do pop Darkness. Good. So same thing, Haunting Wave, watch out for that. It's going to be another Darkness. There are going to be ads spawning here, which actually trips me up because I'm going to actually Fell Rush on right as she disappears. And normally I would want to Glaive Tempest here while I take the portal, but again, I was just a little off there. It's not a huge deal though. Finishing this burn phase, you really want her under 77% or around 77% after this burn phase. I don't think we quite get there, but our phase 3 is pretty clean typically, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just right around 77, so it's totally fine. Spread out again. You can use that bridge. I can go even further there to just give my raid more room, but here is where I want to make sure that I have as long of a duration on Burning Wounds as possible, because I'm actually going to pop Immo Aura right before we take the portal to Ouroboros. And then right as we get unstunned, I'm actually going to Fell Rush into her. So now my Immo Aura is doing the buff damage from the Burning Wounds dot that's on her that whole time that we sit there stunned. So just a nice little bit of optimization there. Now this part, I have a really easy stack point for Darkness, which is just right here at the top of the sigil. So I can pretty much just sit here the whole time. I don't have to run very far. If you're put in a really awkward spot for Darkness, just keep in mind that you kind of always want to know where you're supposed to go and where you're oriented on the platform. But as you can see, I just sit there every time, so it's pretty simple. So here, she's in an awkward spot here because tanks are actually going to have to pop off or drop off their puddles there, but she does port to the middle, so you don't have to actually worry about it as long as you get to the middle and follow her when she does that. Now you're just kind of doing a little bit of extra damage here. I wouldn't use your I-beam here just because you want to save your demonic proc for this part. So now we're gonna wait before we actually pop our meta, because if you get targeted with an arrow there, you want to save your meta for after you get back from dropping off the arrow. But I did not get targeted, so now I'm going off and again just doing sort of my opener and just pumping as much damage as possible. Not a whole lot to worry about here other than just spreading out properly. Typically use the same stack point for the Scream as you would for Darkness, at least roughly. So again, I'm just sitting right here for Darkness, and you just keep pumping. It's really important to just do as much damage as possible in this phase. There's not a whole lot for you to worry about until a little bit later, and we'll go over that, at least what my role is during the third platform. It's a little bit different. But otherwise, you just you're going to Darkness when you're told to. Mine is going to be on the very beginning of the next platform. The Hunt is a really nice ability here because of the leech that it gives you, especially when you have Veil of Darkness on you. So you're obviously going to be spreading that around the raid, and you can get your Veil stacks off very quickly with the Hunt. It lines up kind of awkwardly, like it doesn't really come off of cooldown when you want it to, and it's better to get the damage out of it. But right there, it did line up to where I was able to clear the last bit of my Darkness. So here I get an arrow. It's not like an odd arrow where I have to like double jump or wait for Darkness or anything like that. So I just jump back when it expires. So now we're going to have, we're going to be jumping over to the next platform again. And then, again, as soon as we jump over this platform, we're going to get a Banshee's Fury cast, and that's the one where I'm going to be popping Darkness. So I always remember that when we pop over here. So I'm going to go and get off some of my abilities and then save a global for Darkness. So I pop that. Banshee's Fury goes off. Gives the healers some cushion there. We're going to get Death Knives here. If you get Death Knives, you really want to try to run to like the edge of the platform, and you just try to leave a space in the middle for everybody, especially on the very last platform in the burn phase. And you'll see we actually had some problems with that, but we were able to kill it. But handling Death Knives properly and then not moving too much once you have gotten out, like you err on the side of not moving after a few seconds, even if you're in a bad spot. Let people adjust. So you see I've got, I just used the Hunt, so now I'm going to clear off my Darkness stacks very quickly there, which is really helpful, especially since I got 2 stacks of it. It's just nice to be able to eat that off of somebody else that otherwise might have struggled to clear their stacks. So we'll have another Banshee's Fury here, and then the next time Darkness is cast, we're actually going to jump over to the 4th platform, and we're going to pick up all of the puddles from there. We're going to use our Soul Shift and move quickly, and then we're going to Netherwalk. So we want to make sure to save Netherwalk for that last platform, and you'll see why. So that was a really rough knives there, as you can see. People didn't quite get out as far as they probably should have, but they did stop moving, so people were able to adjust. That's nice. So now we've got 8 seconds left until Darkness. This is about when we pop over here. And you can see me I go my raptor form and run around and pick everything up. If you fell rush too much, you might jump over them, so just run. But you see I popped Netherwalk there once I hit around 50% health just to make sure that I don't die. Using a Hellstone there, you're taking a ton of damage once you have like 8 stacks of that. So now we're jumping over, and you put down a gateway, and you take the gateway when your arrow's about to expire. You can see that person tick down to 1 second left, took it, and then you just run back. If you go too early or too late, you're going to probably wipe the group, so it's really important that you take it at the right time. And this is basically just a burn. You're getting out with arrows here, You can see that they did a good job on those set of arrows to allow room in the middle for us, because everyone's just stacked and trying to burn as much as possible. Now you have to spread out to your normal spots for the Scream. We're going to get another arrow, or this is just the black arrows here. Tanks are going to pick those up. We're going to get to our spots for Darkness, and then after Darkness, we're going to Bloodlust. So now it's Bloodlust, pots, everything. This is the final burn. You can see I just went through my entire sort of opener rotation there. And you're just burning. There's not much else to worry about here. There's that one more set of arrows. Like I said, we actually screwed up a little bit and I almost died. But as you can see, the boss is already pretty low. So as long as we have everyone alive here, which we do, it's probably a kill. So this set of arrows, you just got to do correctly, and then you're going to get Death Knives right now. Now look at this one going right through the raid. So you can see the tank actually took the portal back and went right into the raid, and that's why we all got hit. You can see my debuff right there. I get very low, but she dies right now, so we don't even have to worry about it. and that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of what my perspective is like on Mythic Sylvanas. It's a really fun fight. It's a really long fight, but once you really get down the mechanics and get the sort of pace and the cadence down, it's a really great fight for Havoc. It's a lot of fun, a lot of movement, a lot of cleave. If you guys want to see more of this, you can see my Twitch handle right up in the top left of the screen, Renegade_MTG. Stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays, our Mythic Raid night. 8:30 to midnight Central. And if you guys have any questions about weak auras, talents, builds, looking forward to 9.2, and just want to chat with me, let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to respond. Take it easy.